Bulgaria 2. I can't even remember Bulgarian how to count. Wow, pet is 5. Forgot it. Isn't it terrible? Just the Turkish is coming to my head. Anyway, so our first posting in Bulgaria, and you do 18 months. Well, my husband does 18 months, and then you decide whether you can stay on more or move to another place. But I found by then, after several months, you get to know other moms, not from your own embassy, because we didn't have, yeah, there were some children, but they were older than my girls, because I had the second one, but not in Bulgaria, because they were afraid of the blackmailing us, because obviously having child you need, I mean, anyway, they don't have any anesthesia or pain relief, so I didn't, you are not, you are discouraged, or they recommend you come back to the UK. The problem with they term us foreign born spouses, like you are not from here, means you don't really have much support when you need, but then you knew it, so just to get on with it. But so I came back to have a baby, and luckily I stayed with my mother-in-law. She was alone by then because my father-in-law passed away a few years ago, and it was in Portsmouth. So their second child, Jennifer, was born in March. I have both 2 March babies. And it was quite, already it's been like 2 years gap between them, but I find the first baby in this Greater London, that hospital, was a nightmare experience. So I was a bit apprehensive about British hospital. But in Portsmouth, I had a lovely time. Um, they kept me only for 2 days in the hospital, and then doctors and then the health visitors followed um, to check me and baby, for the follow-up. So quite relaxing. And by then Peter arrived, because I came on my own first with um, my first child. And so what is good about is it's only 2 days, so it's not as if like a first one I had to stay 10 days with the miserable matriarchy. This sister was giving me hard time, very bad. There was a lovely black nurse, a lovely, lovely lady. She said to me, look, it's better. I was complaining to her, why is she so severe? And my baby is starving, crying. And she said, well, you can feed as much as you want when I'm on duty, but she is like this, so it's better to follow. You know how lovely. I mean, if you explain things, it's okay, but I didn't know what the thing is going on. I almost feel like swearing, thinking back all the time, all the years ago. Anyway, so it was good experience. And soon I was going back to Bulgaria with my husband. So we become four members in our family. But second daughter, she was so tiny, very tiny, you know. And when I had the baby carrier on my front, because of the head support for baby, this shape, heart shape, you can't see the baby. She was just there, but nobody will know. But when she cried, everybody was a bit surprised. Where is this child baby crying comes from? Because they couldn't see the baby around. But luckily to Bulgaria, it was very short distance, relatively short. The reason we stay for the second term in Bulgaria, we knew soon after I was pregnant, and also I didn't want to go to the yet another unknown destination with a 2-year-old and then possibly newborn baby soon. So I just couldn't hack it. So I said to my husband, uh, just might as well stay here because I know what to expect. And it doesn't mean it was easy, and there wasn't any facilities for really for children to play. We did our best opening our houses and then take turns to have a mother and toddlers group and whatnot. But not only children, but for me it was a big problem because nothing to read. There was a television, I think a black and white television, but it's Bulgarian and I don't know what they're talking about. Even though by then I had a little pocket dictionary, I managed to converse with, at shops, but I didn't really learn much. I'd rather learn something else, so I had a French lesson, private French lesson, and a violin lesson, all this to keep me sane in the dark era. And but we did go or get away to Pirot, which is across the border to Yugoslavia, for weekend for shopping because they have a proper vegetables, and because it's very difficult to find fresh vegetables in local market, and it was with two young babies, it was very hard, and the shopping itself was such a challenge. Then we would try to get away to cross the border to Greece, to Kavala, which is a little seaside village. There we could relax and bought like a crate of beautiful peaches and whatnot, you know. Very strange life. And I bitterly complained when the inspector came and explaining, if you had known what Korea is like or how we were educated anti-communism, it's not real that I'm here because I cut off all my family, isn't it? They were afraid to write letters. Sophia, you know, I don't know. I was afraid that they would get into trouble. It wasn't very free country, Korea at the time, and I was in the generation where, you know, Korean War and then horrible March the 15th, the election fraud, and then soon after the April 19th, the student uprising, and then the horrendous May the 16th military coup. I mean, you name it, you know. And then I joined the demonstration when I was in the first year in Korea University, and then it was terrible. Some student, you know, I don't know. It's it was very miserable time, miserable. So anyway, so that was that kind of a mentality, and also you are brought up as not to be free or be fearful of the authority, plus to your elders, senior members. I mean, you are basically afraid of your father. Not afraid, it's but you are not relaxed because your mom is so treating him like a god, and then you have the distance because you learn your behavior from mom. So it was a very strange generation, the women especially, through the because of the legacy of Confucianism, and this man is the best or superior to women. uh, it's it it has impact on you, how you look at or deal with people. And then for me, because I was very free, but I am very much distrust people, everybody, like especially men, and didn't enjoy the company or anything until I met my husband. And then I realized it's like a equal or partnership, and very relaxing. So that was that. Oh gosh, 11:54. Too long. Goodbye.